Hello everyone, it's Eliza McNamara here to talk to you today about the secret of success. See, the biggest secret to being successful, to achieving what you want to achieve, is to recognize that you already know what you need to do and to just actually do it and focus on it. And in a previous video I talked about the importance of focusing on one thing in order to produce a result in the area that you want to produce a result in. And a lot of people think that they need to speak to the expert, like the absolute best person in their industry in order to be successful. And you look at people like Richard Branson. You know, Richard Branson will copy the most successful person in an industry in order to become really successful. But his secret is not that he's copying the expert. The biggest secret is that he focuses on what he's good at. Yeah, he's got his circle of competence. You know, he wouldn't go out tomorrow and open up IKEA, let's say. You know, he knows what he's good at and he sticks with that. And I think that's the biggest secret of success, to focus on what you're good at, on what you're talented at. And you know, you can build a talent, you can build skill in any area, but it's practice that's going to make you good, right? So this is the secret, this is the thing. If you practice, then you're going to be amazing at the thing you want to be doing. You're going to be fantastic. You're going to end up being better than everyone else if you do it more than everybody else. And you know, that's the secret, that's it. And that takes work, that takes effort, and you've got to keep yourself motivated. I think that sometimes people may find it quite challenging to be motivated when they're focused on the same thing for a period of time. Because if you're doing something and you're passionate about it and you love it, then you know, you automatically, naturally have that motivation. But you still have to draw upon your inner reserves from time to time to keep yourself focused on that work, on that thing, until you produce the results, get the rewards. And you know, see, this is the thing. Once you get the reward, that's when you'll be more motivated and more focused. And you know, you can say, oh, I can choose to be motivated and choose to enjoy the process. And yes, you can enjoy the process. You can focus on the journey, like the journey is the reward. I read Steve Jobs' autobiography a few years ago, and I think the book's called The Journey is the Reward or something like that. But basically, you know, the biggest secret in making the journey the reward is doing something you're passionate about. And that's what makes it easier to focus. And see, if you're focusing, you produce the rewards, the results sooner. And so that will propel you forwards. And I used to think that as long as you were taking action, it didn't matter if you were producing a result. I used to think that you could just take action and produce no results and still be motivated. And yes, you can. But if you're taking action in lots of different directions, then that's the opposite of the secret of success. That is the complete opposite of what you need to do to succeed. The secret, the absolute number one thing is to focus and to realise that there is no secret and to stop looking for it. Because, you know, you can say the grass is always greener on the other side, but as soon as you realise the grass is greener where you are, you're already standing on an amazing patch of grass that's lush and green and wonderful and healthy. You know, once you realise how fabulous the grass you're standing on is, you stop looking for other amazing things on the other side. And once you stop searching for somewhere where the grass is greener and you work with the resources that you have and you work with the amazing things that you have at your disposal, that's when everything changes, because then you're not looking for the secret anymore. You're not looking for the holy grail of success. And you know, the motivational industry is fantastic. It's excellent. It's a beautiful industry to work in. It's a beautiful industry to be a part of and to partake in as a consumer or delivering a product or whatever. But I think a lot of people get caught up in consuming. So they become consumers as opposed to producers, as opposed to using what they're consuming in order to produce a result. Because when you consume all of this information, which is basically what you're doing, you're consuming information. When you consume all this information, when you read all these motivational books, when you read all these business books, when you attend all these seminars, when you do all of these motivational things, what happens is it goes in, but it only really takes root when you act on it. You have to act on it. Like my t-shirt says, actions speak louder than words, right? It's the actions that you take that will instill things at the subconscious level of your mind, so that you create the neural networks that you need in order to automatically fall into new patterns. And it sounds really complicated, but once you understand this simple process that goes on in your head, that's when you stop looking for this thing that's supposedly out there somewhere. And a lot of people think, oh, if I just go to one more seminar, you know, and they'll go to a seminar or they'll read a book and they say, oh, does this thing really work? Like, for instance, there's this advertisement, and there's this lady, and she's reading this weight loss book, and she's all excited about this weight loss book that she's reading, and she's going to lose weight. And it's a comedy, and it's got 4 captions. And the first one is her eating a tub of ice cream in bed, reading this How to Get Slim Fast book. And then the second one is a caption of her at her workplace eating a tub of cookies or something, reading this book, How to Slim Fast, and everyone in the area is looking at her thinking, oh, I wonder why she's reading that book. And then she has this conversation with her friend, and this is the last caption, and it says, oh, what did you think of that book that I gave you? And there's this really slim, attractive guy talking to this really fat lady. And she says, oh, it didn't work. I've been reading it for months now and nothing happened. And that encapsulates why most people are not successful, who go to the seminars, who read the books, who do all these things, because they just read, they just consume, they become consumers, and they consume all this information, they consume all this stuff, and they get all excited, and they get all pumped up, and then in their environment, in their normal life, they're not taking action, so they're not producing results, and then they go, oh, it didn't work, it didn't work, it didn't work, you didn't work, you need to work to produce a result, right? You can read all the diet books you want, you can read all the motivational books you want, you can read all the investment books you want, you can read all the property investment or financial investment or weight loss books or whatever it is you want to achieve, right? You can read as many of them as you want. You can go to as many seminars as you want. You can have as many mentors as you want and gurus and coaches. But the thing in all of this, the key thing in everything is to act on what you're learning. And you can only do so much in a day. And I think that that's why most people don't focus, because it's like they get overwhelmed and they consume all this information, and then they have like this information overload. And then it's like they just don't do anything because they overwhelm themselves with all the things that they feel like they should be doing. It's like, oh, well, I should be reading my goals 15 times a day. I should be going for a 3-hour run every morning. I should be eating fruits and vegetables and nothing else. And you know, like, it's good to have these goals and it's good to do these things, but you know, like, you've got to recognize where you are before you get to where you want to be. Like, if you see yourself honestly and you realistically see where you are, not worse than it is, you know, exactly how it is, then you're in a position to create a plan, hopefully with a coach or somebody, that's going to push you towards where you really want to be. And this is another thing as well, you know, like, I think it's great to have books and it's great to go to seminars and it's great to do all these things. I think it's amazing. But I think it's absolutely crucial to have a mentor, because only when I got a mentor in my life did things really start happening for me. And it still took a while. It's been about 1.5 years or 2 years since I had a mentor. I can't remember exactly, I'd have to ask them. But it really transformed my life, having a mentor. See, the thing is, when you have a mentor, then they'll ask you, you know, so what actions have you taken? They're not interested in how many books you've read that day. They're not interested in how many seminars you've been to. They're not interested how much information you've consumed, on how much money you've spent on being a consumer of the industry. They're interested in the actions you have taken as a result of consuming all of this information. So you consume the information, and then it's got to come out of you in a useful, productive way that's useful for the commercial market, that's going to give people something that they want, that's going to enable you to provide a solution for people who have a problem, whatever that problem happens to be. Like if you want a product, like sometimes I think that I would like to be able to buy something and it doesn't exist, or that could be your next product. And if you focus, instead of focusing on consuming information and going to seminars, instead of focusing on that, you focus on acting on what you're learning and on one thing. Like not on everything at once. You can't go to 10 seminars and have 10 different things that are completely different in completely different areas and act on all 10 of them at the same time to produce a result. I mean, I shouldn't say can't, you can, but I think that's where most people come unstuck, because they're firing off in all these different directions and they're scattering their energy. You've got to focus your energy. Again, focus. But it all begins with recognizing the value of the information you already have. It's not about going out and buying another motivational book. Like, don't get me wrong, I love motivational books and audios and all of these things, and they're fantastic. But I recognize that action is more important than consuming. I think that consuming this information, listening to a motivational audio, reading a motivational book, going to a seminar, is useful in order to keep yourself motivated, in order to learn new information, in order to improve and hone your skills. But it's the action that is going to make it useful. Otherwise, you may as well not bother. You may as well just go and read a Harry Potter book or something and sit on a beach and forget about changing your life. And you can change your life by focusing on these things and taking action. So it's like you just have to make that commitment, and you recognize this as well. You recognize it on a conscious level that, okay, it's good that I'm producing results in this area, whatever area you're producing results in, but I need to make sure that I take action to produce results in every area of my life, because you've got so many different areas of your life. You've got your work life, you've got your personal life, you've got your relationship with yourself in so many different parts of your life. And I think that recognizing that everything is a reflection is also a crucial part of this process, because, like, for instance, if you're really happy within yourself and you've got a wonderful positive relationship with yourself, you look after yourself and you care for yourself and you respect yourself, then that leads to you respecting and loving others. Like in the Bible it says, love yourself, love your neighbour as yourself, or something like that. I can't remember what it is exactly, but you get my point. If you look after yourself, then it's easier to look after others. So I think that recognising that everything is a reflection of that, everything starts with you, is absolutely crucial, because when you take the time to take care of you, to invest in yourself, that's when things start changing. And sometimes investing in yourself means not only going to a seminar, not only reading the book, but you may need to invest in yourself to get a mentor. That could be an investment that could be more useful for you if you've read a million books on motivation and been to a million seminars. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still good to go to the seminars and it's still good to read the books, it's fantastic. But you've got to invest in yourself in ways that are going to propel you past the level of being a consumer, that are going to propel you past consuming information and to the level where you're producing the information that other people find valuable, that other people are going to want, that other people are going to seek you out for. Because once you build your value to your market, whoever your market is, that's when people seek you out, that's when things change, that's when you notice this shift. It's like everything transforms. And it all starts with you recognising that you've got to focus on creating something that's commercially viable. And in order to create something that's commercially viable, you've got to focus. And I'm repeating myself again and again and again and again and again. But it's the most fundamental thing in all of this. Focus. That's it. It's that simple. It's really so simple. And when you make sure you combine focusing with something you're passionate about, with taking action, with a mentor that can propel you to where it is that you want to be, then everything shifts. But you've got to have those things in place. You need to have a mentor. You need to make sure that you're focused. You need to make sure you're passionate about what you're doing. All of these things are absolutely crucial to this process producing an end result instead of it just being a process. Because, you know, it's great to go through a process. It's great to have these transformational inner journeys and go on meditation retreats or whatever it is that you're doing to improve yourself and improve your life. But in order to really enjoy life, you need to transform your financial life as well. And if you transform your financial life, then that improves every part of your life. It improves your relationship with yourself, improves your relationship with others. It improves everything. It improves how many people you're able to impact with your message. Because people will notice you, people will be drawn to you if you have the resources, the financial resources to market the thing that you want to market. And, you know, word of mouth is fantastic, but I think that most people who are extremely successful have finances to invest in marketing to attract more people to produce the result. Because the more people you attract, the more opportunity there is for you to attract the right kind of client for you. You know, like if you attract 10 clients a year, you might have to settle for less. Whereas if you're attracting 1,000 clients a year or 1,000,000 clients a year, you're going to attract people who are a lot more suitable for the thing it is that you are marketing, and you are more likely to take action. Because let's say 100 people go to a seminar. Out of those 100 people, let's say maybe 5 or 10 will take action. Let's say 20 purchase the back-end product at the seminar. Let's say 3 of those people actually follow through and take action and produce a result. That's why it's good to have money to invest in marketing, so you can have bigger numbers to produce more results, to attract better quality people to your offer, your thing, whatever it happens to be.